2019. We're here for another incredible show. We're going to be reviewing. We're going to be reviewing 5 films this evening.
We have Hellboy.
We do have Hellboy.
The reboot. We are also going to be covering tonight Shazam.
Yes.
We're going to be covering tonight as well
Pet Sematary.
The remake. We're going to cover Hotel Mumbai. And then, in honor of Easter and Good Friday, we're going to be ending the show with a flashback to 1927, Cecil B. DeMille's King of Kings.
There you go.
And so
that's a nice 2.5 hour,
2.5 hour film.
epic
Silent film. Yeah.
Based on the life and death
of Jesus Christ. But we're going to start off right away. We're going to do Hellboy.
Let's start it out.
So this is Mr. David Harbour, who you obviously know from many things, but you might not know his name, but I'm sure you know his face.
Well, he is, of course.
The new Hellboy, here he is, Stranger Things himself.
He plays the sheriff on the series,
He
and
certainly
he's
does.
excellent.
He's great. And he's
Really
been around a
excellent.
long time. He's awesome.
Really has.
I like him
Following
quite a bit.
in the footsteps of course, Ron Perlman.
Ron Perlman.
Who did this film approximately, 93, I believe it was.
No. 2004 was the first one.
Was it? Oh,
2008 was the sequel, Hellboy, the Golden Army.
Ah, yes.
Here's Ron Perlman as Hellboy.
There he is.
I got a couple shots of him, too.
There we go.
For comparison's sake.
We can compare the two. There is a stark difference, I feel. I personally, did. There we have Selma Blair. There's Ron. I will say one thing about David Harbour. You know, he worked out so intensely.
He did.
Apparently, he wrecked the suit
really
a couple times. He was bursting through.
Yeah, and he's not a guy that usually works out. I heard him interviewed about this. He's like, yeah, I'm not really one to go to the gym, you know. So this was a big thing.
But
for
he
him.
looked outrageously built in this film. It's
Yeah.
very hard to believe that. Well, this, of course, is from the original.
That's the original Hellboy. Yeah,
true. Well, let's. This film it doesn't really go into the origins so
not
much.
as much because we know that already.
We have there's almost a 15 minute beginnings origin of the Ron Perlman Hellboy.
Yeah.
Guillermo del Toro right here, the director of the first one.
And now we're back to Ron Perlman. David Harbour
once again. Yeah. Did you like the first film?
I did. I mean, I enjoyed the first 2 Hellboy films quite a bit.
I did too.
I thought the second one was the best.
Really?
I liked it a lot. Yeah,
the stylishness of it.
Yeah, it's such a cool movie. There was so much. Obviously, got a bigger budget. There was a lot more going on.
Yeah.
It was very interesting.
It was more of a Guillermo film.
It really was.
It was more
he was allowed to do more of the more darker things. Crazy characters, creature designs.
Correct. And Pan's Labyrinth, which
is I think still his masterpiece.
Still one of his great masterpieces.
I love that.
No question about it.
Yeah.
I do love The Shape of Water, though.
Yeah, I agree too.
It has really grown on me
agree.
over the year or two that it's been out, but. I think his films were so stylish in a sense. I did enjoy Mila.
I enjoyed seeing her as the evil witch.
I thought she was.
Ian McShane was
commendable.
great.
I love Ian McShane, of course. He's wonderful. We're going to see him in less than a month now.
Yeah.
For John Wick 3.
John Wick 3.
So
and
I'm
then
sure he's
later
gonna
this
be
year,
in
the
there.
Deadwood movie they're doing.
Correct. There you go.
Here she is. I thought she was great, and I think she's aging wonderfully. She's still
She's
great.
a beautiful woman.
I love
no
her.
question about it.
Yeah.
Did I like Hellboy?
You know what? I'm going to think that maybe you didn't like it that much.
I'll tell you something. I was entertained.
I really enjoyed it.
I was entertained.
Given the negative Rotten Tomatoes percentage this movie has,
okay.
I don't know. I there were some silly things to it, but I really enjoyed the film, and I thought he was very good as Hellboy.
I thought he was
a
good.
different take.
A different take, a lesser, lower key take.
Yeah.
I really did enjoy Ron Perlman's take on Hellboy.
Yeah,
I thought Ron Perlman really...
He was great.
I love his characterization. It was like Clint Eastwood as Hellboy.
I read that his approach, David Harbour's approach, he was going for more of a confused, teenage, almost adolescent Hellboy.
I'd like to point out something.
I
saw Thomas Hayden Church today.
Yeah.
And what I said to myself, and therefore for the rest of the film, I kept saying to myself, he would have been a far more perfect Hellboy.
You could have been interesting.
David Harbour. He's got a definite, he's got a momentum to his character. David Harbour had no momentum to his character. There was no inner stuff going on. It was all on the outside. It was just standing there like the big lug of a guy. Well, okay, yeah, sure. He kind of reacted within each momentary bit of scene that they were doing, where Thomas Hayden Church has a drive, as does Ron Perlman. I think I think David Harbour has a choice. I think it was a decent choice, but I don't think it was the best choice. I would have much preferred to see Thomas Hayden Church just a better actor, no question about it in my head, to play Hellboy. I think he would have been perfect.
I mean, I think he would have been good too. I enjoyed Arbor. I mean, they do want somebody who has kind of a name recognition to sell the movie a little bit. Yes, he's not a household name, but I would argue that David Harbour is a household face. Not that Thomas Hayden Church isn't.
You never see his face here.
No,
What's the
but
point?
I mean, I think people know him a little bit more. But it would have been interesting to see Tom. I mean, I would have been interested in just about anybody they would have picked. You
Pretty
know?
much, yeah.
Because stepping into a role like that after it was already done twice by Ron Perlman,
Yeah.
you know, it's kind of like big shoes to fill. But I thought he did an admirable job. I enjoyed it. I loved the scenes with him.
Yeah,
and
that's his father, so to speak.
This movie, though, I will say, was very, very gory and gruesome,
A lot
which
of
I
blood.
liked. I think that was more so than the other two.
Well, they were PG-13s.
PG-13.
There was no R rating on. I don't even think the first one.
Really? I thought it was an R.
No way.
It was PG-13?
No, we didn't have R-rated comic
You're
book
probably
movies
right. That was
ever.
probably PG-13.
Deadpool was the first one.
Yeah, I guess that's
That
true.
was the first comic book film.
But yeah,
ever.
I enjoyed the violence. I love the.
I did too.
The evil creatures that come up out of hell or whatever. Those were kind of
that was
disturbing.
good.
I like that.
I loved the Three Giants. I thought that was great fun. I love
That
the
was
scene.
fun. I love
when
that.
He envisions. Yeah, this is a dream sequence.
Yeah,
he
that was
has,
cool.
That he is envisioning himself, as
the
being
apocalypse
the
almost.
apocalypse who is going to destroy Earth, which is predicted by the young girl who was the soothsayer in the
Sasha
film.
Lane is the actress.
I thought it was a well done film. I did.
It was done by Neil Marshall, by the way, who's done some good films. He did.
No, I saw.
He did The Descent, which I thought was a horrifying movie.
It was a good little
If
film.
you haven't seen The Descent, it's about these women trapped in a cave.
Yeah.
And these like mutated creatures were just eating them.
Well, they were like little Hellboys, is what they
Kind
were.
of, yeah.
Yeah, they were like little Hellboys.
He also did Centurion, and he did a couple other movies of note.
I love the Centurion.
Yeah, with Michael Fassbender. Yeah.
Oh my God.
He's done a couple other movies that are escaping me. He's done some directing on Game of Thrones too.
Has he?
Yeah.
Interesting.
But
I don't even know what I'm looking at here.
this is when they do the shot of baby Hellboy coming up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's the one
This was
creature.
kind of cool.
That was disturbing.
Yeah, that was kind of
Crushing
cool.
Brooklyn Bridge.
Yeah.
I mean,
is that Brooklyn?
London
That's
Bridge.
London Bridge, yeah.
London Bridge.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can't say I really loved this film. I enjoyed it. I was entertained by it.
That was creepy.
That was very creepy, especially does the tongue kiss.
Yeah, that was gross.
There was a Mexican family sitting directly behind me, a mother, a father, and their son and daughter, who were both around 5 years old.
Yeah.
These kids were screaming through the whole film, pretty much.
It's really a kids movie.
No, it's not a kids movie. It was devastating. These little kids.
That
are
was
gonna be-
horrifying. That was a good scene.
That was a great scene.
The
That's
lucha-
the opening wrestling
yeah.
scene.
Yeah,
I
the
like
lucha
that.
lu-
Yeah, that
lucha
was pretty
libre.
cool. But these little kids,
Luchador.
I was so upset for them. I really was. There were times specifically when that woman came on,
Yeah.
who does the tongue kiss. What happened?
It's on that photo that doesn't, for some reason, play on your TV.
So it's going to blink forward.
And now
Here
it's back to where we
back
started.
to where we started.
Which is weird because it was a JPEG image. I don't understand why.
Well, obviously something's wrong, but
Yeah.
I felt very bad for these little kids.
Yeah.
And specifically when the old woman was on, and she
Very
does
disturbing.
her exorcist walk backwards on her back.
That's the new
you know.
thing. Everybody does that now.
I know, it's
Yeah.
got to be an all horror film.
I thought the one thing about this film that I don't know, I just found the character was a little silly, was the pig guy. Kind of silly. I don't know.
I didn't like
love
the big
it.
guy. I thought
was
it was
okay.
fun. I liked it when he shrunk.
That was funny. He was more comic relief than anything.
And then he blows up. But
That was voiced.
spoiler.
That character was voiced by Stephen Graham, who was Al Capone on Boardwalk Empire.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he's been in a bunch of
okay.
stuff.
Oh, I know that
He
guy.
was- yeah,
He
little
was
guy.
very- yeah, I know that guy.
He was in Snatch with
No,
Jason
sure.
Statham. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I would say this is a 3-star film at best. I wouldn't go lower. I wouldn't go higher.
Okay, I'll go 3 stars.
3?
I just don't know why they made this film. It just seemed to be a throwaway. It didn't really, I don't think it did anything for the franchise. I don't think it did anything for, except show me how much better I thought Ron Perlman was in the role. I really did.
He was perfect.
It was just a makeup extravaganza more than anything, and a lot of violence, but I don't know. I just sat there going to myself, here I am sitting in this theater. I had to make the effort to get here. I don't know if I mean, sure, okay, I'm entertained. I'd probably be entertained by, watching a live tornado on a screen or whatever. But, just to come to the theater and just, we do see a lot of films, obviously.
Yeah.
And we're not always, it's not always within our power to say we don't want to see them. We feel we must come see them.
Well, it's an obligation at times.
To our audience out there, however small they may be. It actually comes down to you're my audience, I'm your audience. So we get to review these films for us.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I just felt that there wasn't much really here. I couldn't really see the point in making this film. But
Well,
there
you know
go.
what it is sometimes they just do these movies to hold on to the property rights. A lot of times, that's why they had those reboots of Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield,
Right.
Because they knew that they didn't make a movie by a certain time. Columbia would lose the rights, so that's why they did.
Okay.
So
And
I don't
then
know if that was the case with this legalities.
I don't know what happened with the new Spider-Man. It's supposed to be a new Spider-Man.
Yeah,
in
it's
the
coming
works.
out on my birthday, July.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
The
but
new one with the
yeah,
kid.
Yeah,
The
it's
kid.
coming out. Yeah, Far From Home.
So obviously,
Looks good.
that it's going to tell us rather, without doubt, in Endgame that all these people who died.
Well, it's gonna
all
pick
coming
up
back.
after that, of course.
Of course. So we're going to see everyone resurrected.
Most
Which
likely.
is like, I didn't love her. I thought I was watching a high school girl.
And apparently in the
half the time.
comics, that's a Irish girl with red hair, so they
Oh,
changed
really?
it.
Yeah, they.
We
just
saw
changed
her recently, though.
We did.
In the Miseducation of Cameron Post.
That's it. She's one of
She-
her girls. On
and she had a prosthetic leg in that movie.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Interesting. I do like the Clint Eastwood
Yeah, it's good.
44 Magnum there. Kind of cool.
And I gotta tell you, honey and coffee, I'm enjoying it. It's
No
very
shit.
good. I put honey in
Can I
my
smell it
coffee
very quick?
for the first time today, and I'm really
Let me
enjoying
just try
it.
the smell.
I can really smell it. Yeah,
I can't really
tastes
smell it.
wonderful.
Really?
Yeah, I'm loving it. It's very good.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I put sugar in. I put not
Yeah.
sugar, but
Honey
I put
is
a
better for you.
sweetener in there.
Yeah.
So.
I usually don't
There
put
we
any
go.
sweetener.
Ah, I know you don't.
Unless I use some of those creamers at a deli or something, that's got
Oh,
the sweetener
okay, yeah,
to it.
like the Irish cream. Or
Sometimes I like that.
Bailey's
That's
or
really
whatever.
good.
Yeah, I like this. I like this scene here where they take him.
Yeah, that was cool.
And this is a great place for an ambush. And sure enough, our
There
little
were some
Hellboy.
really good sequences, I thought.
The best one for me, and it looked like it was almost right out of Aquaman, was that one scene. There's a good sequence right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Beautiful Mila Jovovich.
Yeah, she's wonderful.
Jovovich. But the scene where the dream sequence, when he's flying on the
That was
dragon,
cool.
I loved it.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
really did.
Yeah.
I thought it was.
I like
cool.
Daniel Day Kim, too. He was good.
He was all right.
Yeah.
I thought he was unnecessary. I don't know why he was even there.
Well, they always have to put some kind of agent in there, government entity.
Yeah.
The other ones
Who
had the FBI agent, I thought.
who was the guy in the first Hellboy?
I don't remember, but I know that there was like an agent in a suit, I remember.
Was there?
I don't remember
I
the
don't
actor.
really recall it.
Yeah,
Okay.
there was.
It wasn't the guy from S.H.I.E.L.D. who you're a dead ringer for, who's married
Oh,
to...
you're talking about Clark Gregg?
Right.
No, it wasn't him.
Okay.
Yeah. But all right, I mean, anything to
Okay.
say? You want to move on?
No, I'm done.
All right.
How about you? Anything else?
No,
you wanna
honestly,
say? You
we
were
got-
entertained?
I was entertained. I
was
enjoyed
entertained.
it. It wasn't. I don't think it was as good as the other two,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
But I still
Well,
really
they
enjoyed
were
it
so
for what it was. Oh,
stylish.
another thing I didn't like. I didn't like when the girl, we were just remarking her. When she has she's like a psychic character. She goes into this trance state,
And she
then
vomits up
she
the
vomits
image
up the image of
of the
somebody
dead person.
as almost like as a Medusa with a snake. I thought that looked silly. 'Cause I didn't like that at all.
I liked it.
I didn't care for that.
No, I thought it
especially
was
the one at
okay.
the end. I didn't like that.
Oh, when Ian McShane
Yeah, I didn't like
was
that.
up there?
Yeah,
Oh, I thought that was fine.
I thought it looked silly.
No, I thought it was time for... There was that Jor-El Kal-El speech.
I know.
You're my
Well,
son, and I
well, I didn't mind
to
the
love
speech.
you.
I didn't like the image of them as half snake. I thought that looked stupid.
No, it was like a smoke kind of thing.
No, it looked like a snake to me. It looked like a snake tail.
No, it looked like a part of an image, and then it looked like there was actually Ian McShane though, bare-chested there.
A little bit, yeah.
You could see that it was his real person.
Regardless, I enjoyed the film for what it was.
Yeah. I'm still not quite sure what Hellboy's power is. He's got strength, and he's got the
Yeah,
ability.
he doesn't
to
have
heal.
any real superpowers.
He has no power at all.
No, he's just physically strong.
Right.
That's it, really.
That's it. He's a Hulk, but not even as strong as the Hulk.
No.
I mean, and he just looks like a hellish boy.
Yeah.
I think it would almost be better if he didn't have the huge horns. He could just have a smaller set of horns. There was a little girl behind me saying, "My dad, what's that thing on his head, Daddy?" And the father didn't know. He didn't know that those were his horns.
Well, there's a
Those
whole
were his-
scene where they show him
Well, they
sawing
have
them
him
down.
well,
which I like that scene.
No, they showed him shaving them.
Shaving them down. That's what I said.
Yeah, but they weren't in full
No,
horn
no,
space.
but he was
We only see
trimming
them
them.
in full horn space, but they do look kind of silly. And they should be more on top of his head as opposed to coming out of the forehead. It just doesn't look quite right, but regardless,
Oh yeah,
let us
that's
move
just
on.
how he was designed in the comic. Who knows?
Obviously, let's move on.
We're gonna move on to Shazam.
Shazam. You saw
Shazam
it today,
I saw
believe?
it today.
You did?
The big new superhero film, DC's superhero film. The best way to describe this film is very simple. It's Superman meets Big. A kid discovers these powers from this wizard that chooses him to be the next embodiment of this.
Here he is as a
Yeah.
kid.
He chooses him. He's a pure of spirit kind of a guy. He gets chosen by this wizard, played by Jamun Hansu, to then embody this superhero magic powers. And then he becomes an adult when he yells into the sky,
Yeah.
Shazam! And there's a whole fun
How does he do it?
Shazam!
Oh, very good.
There's like this 20-minute sequence where him and his friend here are trying to figure out what his powers are, which were kind of fun. Do you do this? Do you have laser eyes? Do you fly? Do you do this?
Yeah, he was his agent, more or less.
Yeah. And he's a foster kid. All these kids live together in a foster home.
Right.
And it's all about kind of like, finding your family and being content with your family, that kind of thing. Finding who you are, all that kind of, the usual stuff we see in these kind of movies.
True. I think
But-
the funny part of this film we kind of more or less saw in the trailer.
Yeah, it's a comedy as well.
It is it's more a comedy, I think, than anything.
By, what's his name, Zachary Levi's very good as
Zach
Shazam.
Levy is, I think
He's the
very
adult
good.
version.
No, he's very good.
I laughed a lot in this film.
I did too. I thought it was pretty
Yeah, he's
fun.
very good.
It's okay. I mean, it's a great looking movie.
It is, yeah.
It just has great art design, and his costume's kind of ridiculous, I thought, but there were just moments there that were just great fun. There's the fun of this film is
Right there, I agree.
And
Because he's amazed at his own abilities. He's like, hey, look what I just
look
did.
what I can do.
That was fun.
It's like Donald
Yeah.
Trump saying, "Hey, I'm president."
Pretty much.
Would you believe it?
Yeah.
It was very entertaining.
Very entertaining
It
film.
was fun. I laughed.
It wasn't pretending to be anything
Love
other.
this woman.
She
I
was
went
good.
back and I did a little research on
Her name
her.
is.
She is
I have it here.
I believe she's
Marta Milan.
Spanish
She's Spanish.
woman. And
From Spain, Madrid, Spain.
I believe she's in the man who killed
Don Quixote?
Don Quixote.
Could very well be.
Looks much younger in that film. That just showed you
Well, that
how
was
old.
probably shot, but it's been shot a few years ago now.
It probably has been shot a few, but that's her
It's
in
gotta
that
be
film.
good.
He was excellent.
Yeah.
He was excellent, and he also might be in Don Quixote. No, he couldn't be. But
This little girl is excellent.
she was
She was
excellent.
funny.
She was like the little girl in Little, who's
Yeah.
in that film right
Yeah.
now. There's a movie out called Little about a little girl, also big in reverse.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Zach was good. It was fun. It was silliness. I will say I didn't like the ending when we suddenly have multiple.
She's very lovely.
A very lovely young woman. She has a Felicity Jones kind of look
yeah.
to her. Maybe a young Felicity.
Yeah, she reminded me a bunch of. I like Mark Strong in this. I mean, I always
I thought
liked
he
Mark
was great.
Strong.
Yeah.
He was excellent.
A year and oh God, what am I saying? Jeez, it's almost no. It'll be a year ago this June. He looks exactly like the guy who tried to kill me in a parking lot.
Oh,
at the
yeah.
ShopRite.
Has it been that long? I guess it has been almost.
Yeah, it was in
Looks
June,
just like that,
June,
huh?
like June 15th.
Interesting.
Almost a dead ringer for this
Wow.
guy. I like the film. It
So did
goes
I.
into that weird, wizard cave scenario,
It
which I
does,
did
yeah.
like. I thought that was kind of fun. It's just fun, silliness.
It's pure fun. That's what this movie
I
is.
can't recommend it to any serious lovers who want to see a serious drama or a serious anything.
Yeah, it's not that kind of film.
It's really a kids' film. In all honesty, I feel.
But you know what? I went to see this today. A lot of kids are off this week for spring break. So the theater,
Right.
a lot of parents with kids. So to my right was a kid that was jumping around in the seat the whole time. Next to me, literally right next to me, was an old guy, probably in his late 70s, just sitting there enjoying the movie.
Was he laughing? And
He was. He seemed to enjoy it. Yeah, I thought it was kind of funny because when he was buying his ticket, the woman's like, "Okay, pick your seat." He's like, "Oh, I don't know. I just want to
always
see
say
the
to those,
movie."
if I'm standing there,
Yeah.
I will always say to the person, "Don't worry, it doesn't matter. When you get inside, you sit wherever you like."
That's
and
true.
And they'll always look at me, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
But they still make them
Of
sit,
course,
wherever they.
yeah. But I really enjoyed Shazam. It was a lot of fun.
I didn't like that ending though when we have 5 Shazams.
Oh, you didn't
running
like
around.
that?
No, I really didn't.
Okay.
I thought it was kind of silliness, and it just kind of, and that whole, just the ending. I don't know, but it was okay. It was all right. But there you go.
There was some fun action sequences in this film. There was
were.
They had a really good fight scene throughout the city that lasted a good probably 10
It
minutes.
reminded me of The Matrix almost.
Yeah, a little bit.
You know,
With the fighting in the air while you're.
in the
Yeah, it did.
air,
Yeah.
you know, it was kind of silly.
There was a cool reference to Big in the film. Did you catch it?
With the piano.
Yeah.
of
When they're
course.
running on the piano on the
Yeah,
ground
yeah.
of the toy store.
There you go.
That was cool.
That was kind of fun.
Here he goes into this other realm where
Yes.
cave where he meets this wizard played by Jamun Hansu. That's where he meets him and he gives him this whole little lecture about the power of being the chosen one, the champion, he calls him.
Right.
He's the alter version of the champion.
He was a great evil guy.
He's the guy that gets all the essences of the 7 deadly sins in him, and then he can control them to come out as these beasts, one individual. That was kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
They all looked very computerized, though. Not for a second did it look photorealistic.
Yeah.
But
there you go.
That's
well,
Shazam.
That's Shazam, folks.
Yeah. That's the director.
There's our director.
Yeah, his name is David F. Sandberg. He did Lights Out, and he did Annabelle Creation previously.
He's also the younger cousin of Patton Oswalt.
It looks like him, yeah.
I know, but he's not.
He also looks like Hodor from Game of Thrones.
Oh, there you go. Oh, he does look a little like Hodor. I like Hodor.
Me too.
But
Hodor.
Yeah, we can move on here.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah, again, I would probably say another 3-star film at best.
Not too thrilling. Both of these films, Hellboy and this, just kind of. I don't know. They just exist for their own sake of existing and being money profitable machines. To just bring in the masses and just compete on a weekend basis. Yeah. And I find it a bit resentful. I find myself resenting it a little bit.
Well, you know why? Because we go to these movies all the time, and I feel like we're getting to that point now. I mean, we've been to this point for a while where starting to get superhero fatigue.
A little
How many more properties are they going to pull out of the dustbin to make it to movies now?
Oversaturated.
Oversaturated.
With mediocre films.
I know.
And that's where I'm at we do this show and we go to see these movies and we feel that it's a big new release, so we have to review them. But they're both just little 3-star films. They're entertaining, but
because they can't all be Avengers movies, and then now that's going to be.
I don't know how much I would go to the movies if it was up to me. Now I'll tell you this: what is our next film that we're going to be reviewing?
The next film we're going to be doing is I'll just jump to it. We'll just go right now. Pet Sematary remake.
Okay.
So this is.
I'd almost rather do Hotel Mumbai.
You want to jump to that?
No,
first?
I'll tell you what. Let's do Pet Sematary.
Okay. Well. We can do Pet Sematary. This is the remake of the 1989 film based on the Stephen King novel from the 80s.
We both watched the older version.
I also watched
1983,
the 89.
89 version.
To reacquaint myself.
By the beautiful and wonderful, and she's also on the disc.
Yeah, Mary Lambert.
Mary Lambert. Yeah. They show her today.
Yeah, and I gotta say right off the bat, this one, the original, to me, is very much superior to the new one.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Watching this in the theater, I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
Had some moments. I liked some things they did. But I only remembered fragments of the original. So then yesterday I went back and watched the original.
Good for you.
And remembered so much more after seeing it. I'm like, oh my God, this is... You can't even compare the two almost.
You can in a sense. Now, John Lithgow versus...
He was the best part to me of this movie.
I totally agree. There you go. That's it. He was great. I almost think that he could replace the Fred Gwynn character in the early one.
Yeah.
But Fred Gwynn was such an icon. He was Herman Munster. He was Car 54. Where are you?
He was. Yeah.
He was. There was just such a.
He did that.
A loveliness about that guy. Everyone loved him, and he just exudes a little bit of joy just watching him. Even doing a redneckian kind of accent.
And I feel like he had a bigger part in the original, a little bit bigger. The character felt like was in a little bit more.
Probably so.
Yeah.
They really did change the whole format of the pit.
They did. They added this in the new one, which I liked. They showed the kids going into the cemetery. We didn't see that in the original.
No, absolutely
that
true.
was cool.
This one particular thing. But in this film, the little girl dies.
That was the big change.
That was a big change, and I think they did that specifically. Here she is.
She's very good.
I think they did that specific because when they had the little boy die, now I
the first
say,
which was creepy.
The two little boys of the old film and the new film
look very similar.
Looked identical.
Right? Yeah,
they were the same damn kid.
It's funny. I was blown away. I was reading a little bit about the trivia that in the new film, the little boy, the character Gage, they had two twin brothers play the role. In the original, it was one boy, Miko Hughes, who then went on to do films like Kindergarten Cop, for example.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I thought he was very good in the original. Very creepy.
Well, I think the reason they went with the little girl is because they were going to get a performance out of her.
Well, they said that the new directors in the new one, they said they didn't think a 3-year-old was going to be as intimidating as a 9-year-old.
No question.
Yeah.
And there's only a couple scenes. She was excellent.
I loved her.
There's only a few scenes where we actually see, most of the time with the little boy in the older films, when we do see him do the transformation, he's been to the Pet Sematary, he's now come back as the new, improved, or unimproved or demonic, changed young kid. We don't really see any real close. We see just one or two close-ups, and then mostly it's just shuffling around.
They use a lot of puppets and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Fred Gwynne just fighting them off, and so I think that they knew that they were going to get a performance out of a younger girl.
I agree.
And I think
And
that's
I
why
didn't
they
mind
really
that change.
No, there were two directors on this film.
Two partners. Yeah.
I think they did a decent job. I just think that the first film,
They've done the directors. They're coming. Guess what they're doing?
Huh.
They've done before this. They did a bunch of shorts and TV stuff. This is their first feature.
Okay.
They just got signed on to do Mama Part 2.
Oh,
Mama.
there you go.
I love that movie.
I did love that film. Guillermo del Toro produced it.
I think that the film was well directed,
It
though.
was well done. It was nice. If you hadn't seen the first, but then when you do go back and watch the first,
You see the difference.
Just a little side shot here. The mother.
Yes.
I love the mother in the first one.
Denise Crosby.
Far more natural. I checked her out. She's
A
working
lot of
today.
stuff. Yeah.
Still doing stuff
She was in
today.
Star Trek and stuff. A lot of
Everything.
stuff.
She's still working. She's been in Scandal.
I like this cat better, by the way.
This is the new cat.
Yeah.
Well, the
And
old
this cat was like several cats that they had to use.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I didn't like the fact that in the older film, though, we do see them give a needle to the cat. I almost got the feeling they may have killed that cat.
No, they can't do that on
Yeah,
film. With Peter standing by? No way.
yeah,
Not in
but-
America.
Yeah, but this was '93, so I
89
don't know.
actually.
Was it '89?
Yeah.
They
No,
may have
Peter's
killed
been
that
around a long
cat.
time. They couldn't have killed
Well,
that cat.
I don't know.
Well, I read that they also
This guy
used
looked-
dummy cats in the original.
Okay, this black one, this black man right there,
Yes.
looked like Sean Combs to me. Sean Puffy Combs. a
Or
very
he also
thin-
looked like a little bit Barkhad Abdi from Captain Phillips.
Oh yeah,
I'm the
yeah.
captain.
I am the captain
Yeah.
now. I am the captain now.
I liked the idea of that haunted, dead guy. I thought he was more effective in the original.
I thought so too.
Brain hanging out. It's very
yeah.
disturbing.
It was disturbing.
Yeah. And they fleshed out the sister's haunting
Well,
of
that's
her
what I was
sister.
about to point out.
Yeah.
And that person that played the sister in the first film was a guy.
It was a guy, I know.
Yeah,
He was
I
saw
saw it
that.
right away.
Yeah, it's a guy.
It looked like Iggy Pop.
Yeah, it did.
But that deformity
Yeah.
and that character. But it did have. There wasn't any real creepy moments in this for me. Maybe a few towards the end.
Yeah, not too many. It
I
wasn't
did-
really scary.
I will say this though.
You know?
I liked the ending of this film.
I did too. That was kind of cool.
That
Dark.
I liked.
Yeah.
It was dark, but I liked suddenly there was a family. That
There was some things
I
that were
don't
happening.
wanna-
Yeah, I know,
don't
yeah.
wanna- Now this guy,
The original.
He kind of has that Steve Guttenberg, almost.
Yeah, his name is Dale Midkiff. He was
There you go.
There's the
little boy.
little Gage in the original
Yeah, here
film.
he is with Dad's scalpel.
Yeah.
He just knows to go over and kill Fred Gwynne.
Yeah.
After he turns into.
And I
this
still
little-
vividly remember that tendon cut, Achilles tendon in
Oh,
that
yeah.
first film.
Yeah.
That's the one image I always
Oh.
remember to me because that's a horrifying thing to do to somebody.
It is, yeah.
Because the tendon goes like a rubber band, it goes right back up.
Oh, that's it, folks. You're finished.
Yeah.
Your tendon is cut. Here we have the
in
the
the
guy
first
who was
film.
killed in a
Yeah.
car thing.
In the original.
Yeah, he's hit by a car.
Original
There's the
cat.
original cat. I have to say one thing. Here, these people live right next to a main highway.
Terrible, yeah.
These trucks are barreling
Flying
down.
by.
There's no way that a town would allow these guys. Hey, there'd be 25-mile-an-hour signs. Watch for children.
Yeah.
Watch for children all over the place.
I agree.
But
Especially today.
Especially
back
today.
in the 80s though, maybe not.
Even that, even the 80s.
Yeah.
I think there'd still be. The new Pet Cemetery as opposed to the old Pet Cemetery. Which did you like the best? The new film or the old?
I gotta say, I think the new one looked better. It was
I do
more
too.
bigger. Although when he's there at night, they went a little crazy with the fog machine. It looked a little too fake.
Oh yeah, it did look fake.
But the
old one.
No, the new one I'm
Oh,
saying.
really?
The fog machine looked a little too much.
Okay.
It looked too produced.
Okay.
But it looks cool.
Yeah.
The original one just looked like winky dink,
I did like the fact, though, that in the new film, to get to the Pet Cemetery, now you've got to go over that barricade.
It did, that
which
was
you had
cool.
to do in both films.
Yes.
But I thought the new film looked better. I
It
just
did.
liked
I agree.
The pathway like this.
It was like a
dark
man-made
hallway.
dam kind of a thing that they go over.
Well,
Trees.
in the old film, they got to climb up
Like a cliff it looked like.
no, it was like a cement.
Like a cement thing or whatever, yeah.
blocks.
Yeah.
You know, it looked like Stonehenge. You're climbing up.
But I like how the original had that whole overhead shot of the cemetery
Yeah, here's
and
when
had
they
all those
killed the
markings.
The poor little cat. That's when they kill it. I swear to God, I think they killed this
No,
cat.
they used the dummy cat.
Well,
It was
no,
weird.
that was no dummy. They shoot the cat with stuff, and probably it was a real doctor who did it. And I'll bet I just pray that they just knocked the cat out because you see
Yeah,
the
oh, no,
cat
I read
go
that too.
from-
They did do it's a subdue
Yeah.
injection.
Okay, here's Iggy Pop right
That's
here.
the original.
It's not really Iggy Pop.
No.
But definitely.
But in the original film and the new film, if you haven't seen it, the wife has these nightmares about her sister who had a very debilitating illness when they were kids.
Right.
And she has nightmares about it.
Well, she has nightmares about the fact that she feels responsible for the death of her...
Because her sister was put
spiral meningitis sister.
Yeah, and she was put in almost like basically a closet by the parents who were these rich people.
Correct.
And that was a subplot that was taken out of the new film where her parents don't like the husband. And in the first one, when they're at the funeral for the son, there's that fight. The grandfather yells, "If you son of a bitch, it's your fault. Where the hell were you?" And they have a fight, and the coffin falls over.
I know.
It was so awkward. A great scene.
It was silly, but...
And the new directors thought that there wasn't really room for that in this film.
Yeah. Well, this was a more low-key film.
It was.
The new film, I mean. And that's what we're reviewing. I did like Jason Clarke. I thought he was okay.
He's just a standard, okay.
Yeah, he was just a
every man
guy,
we get these days.
I like Jason Clarke.
I do.
He's a well-composed actor. And
he is.
I just never felt... He's such a tough guy. He feels like a strong kind of guy. I can't really see him... I think he was miscast in the sense that I don't see him being so afraid of this whole world that is now thrust upon him. Where the older guy...
I know what you're saying.
Looks more fresh-faced. He looks more almost like a doctor, if you will.
He was, yeah.
He looks more like a model.
I didn't really see him as a doctor. We barely even saw him as a doctor.
Well,
the first film,
the ER for that moment.
The first film, there's a little bit more of that fleshed out. I liked the wife though; she was good.
I thought she was plain enough.
Yeah, her name is.
I thought she was good.
She's Amy Sematary, and she's actually not only been in a lot of stuff as an actress. She's actually a director.
Is she?
She's got a lot of bigger gigs. Yeah.
Oh wow.
I heard I read a quote from her saying that she was even in conversations to direct a Marvel film, which she ended up not doing. But
I do apologize to our audience for confusing you because here we're talking about stuff that we already know about. We've seen both films, so we're kind of interrelating and talking over.
And it's hard not to compare the two films.
It's hard not to compare, and we're doing it disrespectfully to our audience, I do believe, in essence. The way we're just sitting here chatting about it, I mean, we're friends and we chat about
look,
stuff.
this is how we would have discussed
really
it anyway.
Explaining it. We're not really explaining
every so often we explain
every little thing to people.
I think most people know the storyline of Pet Sematary.
Well, it's the monkey's paw.
Yeah.
The monkey's paw was, mom had a wish, her son was killed in a tractor accident.
I read the monkey's paw.
Yeah, it's a great story.
Yeah.
Shirley Jackson, I believe, the woman who did the lottery and Haunting of Hill House. And it's just about a woman who gets her son to come back.
Yeah. Now, that was Poe, right? Monkey's Paw?
No.
Who was it? 'Cause I remember
Shirley Jackson. I just said. Shirley Jackson, who wrote
I'm sorry.
The Lottery, very famous.
I thought you meant Shirley Jackson was an actress that was in the movie.
No. Shirley Jackson was a great writer.
Okay, so I don't remember
who
wrote.
She wrote The Haunting of Hill House.
Yes,
she also wrote The Lottery, which is it's the very first episode of The Twilight Zone.
Oh, okay.
Rod Serling. It's the very first episode they ever shot.
Got it.
But,
digress.
Gotta say, we do. But, in all essence, bottom line, new film, okay.
It's okay.
2.5, 3 stars once again.
Original's better, I think.
Original better. Just
I would say wait till
creepier.
video. You don't even need to see it in the theater.
I agree.
You don't need to.
I agree.
Let's move on.
But it was well done.
It was very well done, yeah.
It reminded me a little
Professional
bit.
production all the way.
It reminded me of that Chris Edgerton film.
You mean Joel Edgerton?
Joel Edgerton.
Yeah.
That it comes at night. You remember that?
Oh yeah, it comes in.
A little bit of that.
Okay.
Just so low key almost that it never. But of course, when the little girl goes psycho.
Yeah.
In this, I thought it was far more devastating in a sense than they really harped on the violence.
They did a good job, yeah. Well, you know what I respect.
Was this an R-rated film?
Yes, it was.
Was it?
And you know what I read? That you don't really get this that often from studio notes. The director said that the studio actually, after they finished shooting, they said, we want a darker, more gruesome ending. So they then reshot it and made it more violent. Usually the studio's like, tone it down. No, they want it amped up.
Yeah, but horror.
So I kind of respect that.
Well, since A Quiet Place, I think they've upped the horror a little bit.
Yeah.
I think A Quiet Place has set a standard. The John Krasinski film.
That was great. He's doing the second one now.
And now The Silence, of course, just hit Netflix with Stanley Tucci.
I want to see that. That looks good.
Well, the reviews are quite unkind on it, but it's basically the same essence.
Yeah.
Be quiet, or these little bats
are
going to come down and eat you.
Yeah.
So, but there's a good little shot of that little
was
girl.
good. Yeah, she was good.
Yeah.
And her name was.
Don't tell us. It doesn't matter.
Does it matter? You don't want to tell me her
No,
name?
I don't want to know.
I like saying the actor's name.
Let us move on now.
Hotel
to
Mumbai.
Hotel Mumbai.
So Hotel Mumbai.
I'd like to give you a little premise, a little setup to this film because I did not wish to go see it. I was avoiding it at all costs.
Okay.
I didn't want to see this movie. I just
Tell the
didn't.
audience.
I didn't want to see this movie.
And I was telling him to go see it.
And he kept telling me to go see it. He kept telling me to go see it. Well, I saw it yesterday. It was by far the best film of the week.
I agree.
There
This is one of the best films I've seen in a
This
long time.
film
Harrowing.
It's
It's intense.
so incredible.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something. It is a true story. 2007.
2008. No, wait.
I thought it was
2008. It was 8.
You might check it, but it was 2007 or it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But in this particular
is a true
year,
story.
true story where these terrorists, Pakistani terrorists, just came into the city of Bombay,
Yeah.
which is now called Mumbai.
Yeah.
And just literally, once again,
Dev
there's
Patel,
Dev Patel.
Jason
He
Isaacs.
does remind me a little bit. I gotta be honest. Of
I know you said that to me.
Adam Driver.
Adam Driver. I don't see it at
I
all.
just see the facial
but-
structure.
all right.
But Dev Patel, I feel, is far the better actor. There's no
I agree.
question in
He's
my mind.
excellent.
He is so damn good in this
He's
film.
amazing.
He is incredible.
Yeah.
This film is a solid 2-hour film. This is
Yeah.
a true terrorist
Yeah.
takeover of not just this hotel, 5 hotels, hospitals in
Yeah.
the area of
Bombings
Mumbai.
in other areas,
Bombings,
cafes.
people just coming in. It is
Orchestrated.
terrifying.
It is.
People just coming in, these guys who were just being run by a voice on the phone. I
Yeah.
love the fact
He was great.
we never see
We never
who
see
that
him.
is.
And you know what? They never caught him.
Yeah.
He never got the justice.
Saw it at the end of the film.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
We never find out
Yeah.
who constructed this entire terrorist
This is
attack.
5 days of
It
terror.
was horrible.
Yeah.
Running in, just walking into a hotel lobby, shooting everyone in
whoever-
sight.
yeah, exactly.
Machine guns, just blowing people away. And this truly happened.
Yeah.
I did love it. The very end
pure
of the
evil.
film. I thought Armie Hammer was
He was
fantastic.
great.
I loved the girl who played his wife.
She was excellent too. Everybody was
Beautiful.
excellent.
Everybody.
The chef, amazing. The
Dynamite.
chef was great. He's
He
been
was
around. He's actually an
fantastic.
acting legend over there in India.
Is he?
Yeah,
I'm
big,
not surprised.
100 and something credits.
I thought she was perfect.
She was
as
great,
the
too.
Sister. Here's the
Well,
wife.
she's the
Armie
house-
Hammer's
she's
wife.
their na- the
She's the
nanny.
maid.
Nanny.
She's the nanny,
Yeah.
basically. She
Yeah.
was spectacular.
She was great.
She was
The
wonderful.
movie was perfect. It was the most intense movie.
It's a 4-star film. There's
4-star
no
all
question
the way.
about
I
it.
felt this was the most harrowing film I've seen in the theater since Black Hawk Down. It was
God,
intense.
No, there was something
Intense.
I've seen recently, and it was in my brain, and you just kicked it out. With
Sorry,
Black
it'll come
Hawk
back
Down.
to you.
But yeah, just the terrorist
So
feeling
intense.
of this film. My God. I
You're on
got
the
up-
edge of your seat.
I got up to go to the bathroom. I ran back to my
Yeah.
I ran back
You
to my
had to,
chair
yeah.
because the onslaught, and it's so well done.
Yeah.
We don't just take a side of the terrorists or a side of the people who are being terrorized.
Yeah.
We have a beautiful mesh.
Yes.
And a really well balanced.
Yeah, I agree.
Depiction of all points of view.
And you see the
Police
terrorists.
points of view.
Everybody, yeah. And you see the terrorists. You see that these are young kids that are brainwashed. You see one of them going through the trauma of, oh my God, what have I done?
Talking
Not-
to that
yeah.
wonderful scene,
Yeah.
fantastic acting. Talking to his
parents.
father, I'm talking,
Yeah.
Father, I love you. Why am I'm doing this? How is your training going? How
going
is your-"
great. They have
We
no
don't
idea.
know if the father has any idea.
He doesn't know what he's really being
what he's
trained
really
to do.
doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
But
great.
It's a harrowing piece of work.
It's incredible.
I gotta say, it was so
I can't
beautifully,
recommend it highly
so
enough.
beautifully filmed, so beautifully done. It's like. It's
amazing.
It really was.
That scene when people are escaping down the stairway
Oh.
and the terrorist like
Oh
just
my
crazy.
God. And he's at the top.
Yeah,
and
it's
they're letting him
amazing.
shoot
Just
down
shooting like-
and hitting him on the side.
Crazy.
It was incredible.
That poor old woman hiding in the room at one point.
Oh,
this whole
well,
movie is just sad.
Here he is, the chef.
I love him. He's great. Commanding
Spectacular
presence.
performance.
Yeah.
Commanding presence, as did Dev Patel.
Everybody. He's perfect.
I thought for sure that when we have here we have.
Here's our
next-
director.
Here he is, right here.
He did a
Oh, my
great job.
God.
I want to say his name because it's his feature debut.
Really?
As a feature film. His name is Anthony Maris. He's an Australian man.
Oh, wow.
This is a co-production with Australian cinema.
Okay.
It's just so well done.
It's so it's a devastating piece
It
of work,
is.
and they intersperse with actual
They
documentary
do.
footage toward the end of the film.
Yes.
I love it. This is when the chef is about to pick out who's going to go with the rich Russian man,
Yeah, it's
played by
Jason Isaacs,
Jason
who had some
Isaacs.
funny moments.
He was good.
Yeah, he was great.
I thought he was.
I love
very
that
good.
scene with that old lady. He's like, she's in that sex in decades.
10
Easy.
years.
Yeah, that
10
was
years.
great.
That was good.
He was a funny asshole in this
How
movie.
stupid could he be that, I screwed your mother last night? You remember when he's laying there with
I
his
know.
hands tied?
I know. He
What an
didn't
idiot.
care at that point.
No,
yeah.
he did not.
No.
obviously he didn't. But
Yeah.
you know, people make bad choices in this film to
Yeah.
protect their families.
Yes.
You know, we just see everybody at the height of absolute terror and
Yes.
emotion going on here. A brilliant, just a
Excellent.
great Dev Patel. Just mind blowing, and he's just a waiter, and at the same time. He's also, when the police come in, who's he? He's wearing a turban.
I know.
He could be one of them.
Oh, that was a beautiful scene.
Great scene.
Yeah, that was
and
great.
you know, he's like, he looks like a bad guy,
does.
but he's not.
No.
And we also have his wife and his son.
We
at
see the
home.
terror on the streets, and
we
they're
see
looking
everybody.
at the TV.
It just, it was just a beautifully encapsulated.
Really was.
Look at this terror attack.
Yeah.
It was frightening. It was.
It might be the
horrifying.
best film of the year so far. I don't know. It's pretty damn good.
Well,
I have to remember what else I've seen, but this stands out.
film aside, and what awards it may win, and I hope it does win some awards.
Something, yeah.
But film aside, from what the actual events that occurred at
Yeah.
this hotel, oh my God!
Yeah.
How horrifying
I know.
that had to be. And just you know,
can't imagine.
all I and I really was thinking this. I just give me a gun. And let me just go out there.
I know.
And I just wanted to kill those
I
guys
know.
so bad.
I know.
There's such an emotional
You're so into it.
build-up.
I know.
Yeah,
I honestly, I had
I
tears
wanted
at the end of the movie. There were
I-
some moments I was tearing up.
Well, you have no choice.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we see people survive. We see some people not survive. But you know, the survival
Yeah.
of just the way these people band together.
Yeah.
It felt almost like the Titanic in a sense. This hotel is going down. It's now on fire. It's
Yeah.
burning up, and these people just band together
Yeah.
and come together as one to preserve their own
Mm-hmm.
selves. And I tell you, man.
How about that evil scene where they're making the concierge call the rooms? You got to open the door,
Oh yeah.
knowing that they're sending terrorists.
There's room service is coming to your room now.
Yeah.
And then finally they both say no. I'm not going to send any more terrorists up.
Exactly.
And they both die
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
the sake of not killing any more
And
people.
that's the thing too, is that the staff of this hotel, they're so honorable. They love. Well, I'm not gonna say they love their jobs, but they have a very strict, almost code of conduct within the employees. That, you know, one guy's like, I've been working here for 37 years. I'm not leaving. You know,
Right.
they're standing up for
But
the
there's
guests.
also the moral-
guests are God to them. You know,
Precise. I'm just going to say the
Yeah.
moral obligation that
Yes.
the guest is God.
Yeah.
It's told to us by the head chef at the
Yeah,
beginning,
at
of,
the
the
beginning
film.
of the film, yeah.
And he says the guest is God here. No matter what they do, or it may seem crazy or whatever, we take care of them.
Yes.
They are here in our hotel.
Yep.
We embrace, and whatever they want, we give it to them.
Yeah.
And this woman was
She's
outrageous.
excellent.
She was so good. I mean, just look at the face on her.
Yeah.
She's just contemplating that her life is over. It looked
Her
so
name is
good.
Nazanin Boniadi.
Well, God bless her. But I'll tell you, this movie, I loved it.
I loved it too.
I loved
I will
it.
be buying this
I will
film when it
watch
comes
this film
out.
again.
Me too.
I won't buy it. I will own the film though
Yes.
in a digital copy.
Of course.
You know, it's.
I want people to see this movie. My wife
Yeah.
and I were on the edge of our seat. Kim and I were just like,
Yeah,
you know, loved it.
It just catches you. I'd say fairly quickly.
It does.
You know,
Right away I was into it.
Right
'Cause
away.
I love these kind of movies in general.
Yeah, the terrorist kind of attack, but I very rarely have I seen one done so beautifully,
I agree.
so
It's
brilliantly.
really excellent.
Didn't
film.
want to see it, and I walked out of the theater just mind.
Now, why didn't you want to see it? Were you afraid it was going to be like a Bollywood film, even though I told you it wasn't?
Well, but originally came to mind was, okay, there was Hotel Rwanda. That was kind of a overthrown
Yeah.
kind of a thing,
Yeah.
but it was kind of a milk toasty thing. There
Yeah.
wasn't a real lot of.
And that wasn't as exciting as this.
Well, no,
Yeah.
this is
on its own
just,
level.
This is just.
This is almost like Die Hard level, you know? It's like
well-
a constant onslaught of action
But
sequences.
the fact that this is a
true story, yeah, I know.
it just takes you to another place.
Yeah.
It was so. As I say, I'm just looking at scenes here, which I shouldn't be doing because I just want to talk about the film. But
Yeah.
it caught me off guard.
Yeah.
It
does.
captivated me, and you can't stop watching it.
No.
Because it's about human life and
It
the
is.
preservation of human life, just for the sake of helping our fellow man. In terms of, you know, we have people that are devoted to horrifying, gods and obligations within their own
I know.
minds, and who's right, who's
Cults,
wrong,
whatever it is, yeah.
You know, who's right? Is the cult guy wrong, or is the cult guy right, or is, the people just living their normal lives? But
Yeah. It's like that line, famous line from, I guess it was I don't know if it was World War One or World War Two between the Germans and the Americans, and they said both sides believed that God was on their side. Well, there's that saying, well, if God's on our side, who's on their side?
Well, true.
And both sides feel that they're on the right.
Everybody has their own God.
You know?
But this
Yeah.
is just a small amount of guys.
It
who
is.
just
9, 10 guys, something like
It was
that.
horrifying.
Yeah.
And they totally wiped out.
And you know, they caught the
many
hotel off
people?
guard.
I
Nobody's
know.
expecting that.
Amazing. Well, it just goes to show. I mean, they could literally walk into any hotel in New York
Any
City
hotel.
and do the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, the police would be there. You know, we have a great military police now.
Yeah,
You know,
we
because
do.
of 9/11, New York City is ready for this
It's
kind
ready,
of thing.
yeah.
But
And I would argue, unfortunately, it takes events like this to get ready. Like in this movie, they were saying that the military or
4 hours away.
4 hours away in Delhi. They couldn't
that's
get there.
why I reminded of the Titanic a little
Yeah.
bit, because the Carpathia,
Yeah.
the boat that comes to save the dying folks of the Titanic, which by the way the anniversary was just yesterday.
Just yesterday.
April 15th, the 2,200 people who died on the Titanic.
Yeah.
And it was also the day Lincoln died. And
It's true. I didn't realize Lincoln was the 15th.
Yeah.
And I went
Well,
to
he
the
was
Ford
shot
Theater.
on the 14th.
Yeah.
As the Titanic was hit by the iceberg on the 14th, but they died on the 15th.
Yeah.
Of course, but and it's also tax day. I thought this girl was wonderful.
She was excellent,
She
yeah.
just had that little Britishy kind of skinny, you know, the way she just was so
Her
intense
name was
about everything.
Tilda Cobham Hervey.
There you go.
Never heard of her before.
I thought Army was,
He was good.
he was well cast.
I liked him.
I thought he was good in this
Yeah,
film.
I liked him too.
I like the fact that he went to he you know he does put himself in harm's way to go try to, which is just something anybody would do.
Just get his family, his
Even
daughter,
though-
and his
yeah.
yeah.
And then next thing we see him belly down with his hands tied.
Yeah, well, yeah, the whole room full of people is tied up.
I
Yeah,
know. It was a horrifying
yeah, it
event.
really was. Really
Horrifying
effective film. Can't recommend it
brilliant,
highly enough.
amazing. And the ending, of course, just it
gets you.
amazes you
When the rescue comes,
what these
it's
people went
amazing.
through. Yeah,
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Excellent film, hands down.
Absolutely.
Best film of the week, no doubt.
no question.
All right, so here we go in honor, like we said, of Easter and Good Friday, King of Kings.
Starting out with
1927.
here we go. Now this is supposed to be the little boy, of course, who
Yeah.
can't see.
Yes.
Oh no, Mark and the little blind girl. Well, wait a minute. Oh, here we have the raising of Lazarus.
Yes.
Let me just talk about the King of Kings for a moment. I saw this film probably a year ago. I did recommend to my
You did.
cohort here to please watch this
Yes.
film. I'm so grateful you did.
I did.
It is Easter
I
time.
got it from my
coming right
library.
up. Got it from the library. There are two versions. There's a 2-hour version that was they're both restored more or less. There's a brilliant little color sequence
At the end.
beginning.
Yeah.
No, at the beginning of the film.
Oh, the beginning. That's
It's
right.
about an
That's right.
it's about
Right,
an
and also at
8-minute
the end
little-
again too. It's also
Yeah, it's
colored.
kind of a Solomon or whatever. She's dancing. And,
Oh, yeah,
And it was in beautiful color. Actually, I'm not exactly sure. This film is loaded with magnificent imagery.
It really is very, very well done.
You know, it all hinges basically on our guy who plays Christ.
Yeah.
Is he a good enough Christ to just completely? I loved him. Here's King Solomon, who just decides that
No, that's Pontius Pilate.
Pontius Pilate.
Yeah.
No. Who's the king though? Hermes? Is it?
Well, no, it's Caesar is the big. They mention Caesar many times,
Oh.
and then Pontius
They
Pilate's
do.
the ending
Yeah,
ruler.
yeah.
You know, who makes the
Um,
judgment. Oh, that's a bad picture.
It is a bad.
You know how hard it was for me to find images from this movie? It was tough.
I'm not surprised.
Very tough.
I'm not surprised. I don't even know if that's an image from it. That looks like Ruta Valentino right there. I'm
No,
not
it was
kidding.
from King of Kings.
Is it?
Yeah, briefly.
I'm not sure.
Wow.
I'll tell you
This
though.
was kind of cool though.
Yeah.
When the movie was in theaters, this must be Manhattan. That's a pretty huge.
Yeah, that's a big.
Twice daily, 2:30 and 8:30. Sunday matinee at 3.
It's a 3-hour.
It's an event.
It's a 2.5-hour film.
Yeah.
Here we have Peter.
Yeah,
Or is that
Peter.
Paul? I'm not even sure anymore.
No, I think it was Peter because Peter was the
Yeah.
one that denied knowing Christ the 3 times.
3 times.
By the time the rooster crows or whatever.
By the time
yeah.
the cock crows.
Yes.
I love this film. It's mind blowing to me.
Yeah.
The crucifixion scene.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Is and in the Bible, of course, it talks about the falling of the earth. And
Yes,
that,
yes.
That, and to have made that film in 1927,
Yeah.
You almost get the feeling that people actually died. The guy hanging from the tree.
It was really incredibly
Judas,
done.
the character.
Judas, yeah.
I mean, my God. I mean, when you see a cast of thousands, literally.
Yeah, there was no CGI back then.
No CGI
you
back
see
then,
those
folks.
people.
Well, there's no CGI in Gone with the Wind too.
No, I know, but I'm
We
saying
see
it's just
a lot of people.
it's
walking
there.
around. But I'll tell you, this guy, and you see his picture on IMDb. I'm sure you might have looked at it.
Yeah, I did.
He just looks like a skinny little guy.
Yeah, he does.
Doesn't look like much of anything.
Doesn't look like much of anything.
But he has
You're
a
right.
dominating force.
Yeah.
He's just. I thought he was brilliant. There's not a sound to be.
H.B. Warner is his name.
There you go.
Yeah.
Not a sound to be heard in this film. It's a purely silent film.
It really is.
But it just the music is. There's two separate.
It's almost constant music, I felt.
Well, there is constant music. I mean, every once in a while we'll kind of go into a lull.
Because when this was in theaters, it was obviously just an organist. And then when they put it on disc, because there was no sound, obviously, at all, period.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Yeah, they just had, back in those days, that's exactly what they do. They had or they would have an orchestra that was hired to play at maybe the premiere or whatever, and then they would just have an organist or whatever, and then finally they would play records sometimes as we progressed on, and then 1929, finally we had the jazz singer with Al Jolson. Asa Jolson, I say his name was Asa Jolson. And we have Al Jolson inaugurating us to the world of sound. So, I love the film. I still haven't heard much from you. Did you like the movie?
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. It's hard not to admire the production, from, like you said, 1927.
Yeah.
Cecil B. DeMille.
It's
on a filmmaking standpoint, it's astounding. I just had a tough time getting through it because I'm not, as I've said before many times, it's really hard for me to get through silent films because it's, I've grown up with, but I push myself to watch these movies every now and then. And,
all right.
It's a very good film. It's very well done. I think the actors did a great job.
Yeah.
Just doing just this with your face. You're emoting with your face.
Very true.
And I thought he was great.
Yeah.
I loved how they always seem to have a glow on him. I thought that was really effective.
Yeah, there he is glowing right there.
Yeah. The crucifixion scene was great.
Spectacular.
It's amazing. Now, that's, for me, once Pontius Pilate comes on and they start doing the judgment and all the, who should I free, Barabbas or him?
Which was basically the Passion of the Christ.
Basically,
almost.
the last half hour, 40 minutes, that's when the film really took off for me.
Sure.
Getting to that point.
That last 45 minutes.
Yeah, it was a little slow at times.
It is.
I felt, they went into a lot of detail and a lot of things from the Bible. They probably could have trimmed a little bit. It's a 2.5 hour movie.
I haven't watched the 2 hour version, the 1928.
Yeah.
I'd like to. But there were so many scenes that I do love in the original film that I was almost afraid to.
Yeah.
I was afraid to watch the new version, but I should. But the raising of Lazarus
that was cool.
that we just saw.
Lazarus, that was a good scene.
Brilliantly produced little piece of lighting, staging. We have this staircase that comes down. We have the Romans sitting up there watching as the crypt opens and Lazarus, they unwrap him.
I liked how
It's
in this
incredible.
film, whenever they showed the writing in the old Aramaic, whatever it was, then it did a transition to the actual word that we could read.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Almost like a special effect.
Yeah. There was that scene where he's when all the people are casting the stones at the whore or whatever, the adulterous woman.
Well,
he stands in there and
supposed to
says,
be Mary Magdalene.
Mary Magdalene, yes, Mary Magdalene. And he steps in and says, those of you that were without sin, throw the first stone.
Right.
And then slowly he starts almost silently judging each person by writing in the sand what they've done as
like
a sin.
little thing, and then it says adulterer,
murderer. And
yeah.
slowly
they all just
they creep away in shame.
Yeah.
That was a really good scene.
Wonderful.
I like that scene.
I found myself moved many different times.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it more the second time, I have to say. The first time I felt it very slow.
Yeah.
I felt, Jesus doesn't show up for the first half hour. Not true. He actually is in there like 15 minutes.
Yeah, it wasn't that long.
He gets in there pretty quick. I just thought he was wonderful. I just liked the feeling of it. It's a very, there's a lot of this where he's got his hands out. My flock, my sheep, my children of the world, and then of course at the end it's the ultimate, pro Jesus world. Now
the Last Supper was great too. That scene looked great.
That was wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a beautiful depiction.
It was.
It truly
was. It really was well done.
They just did a great job. Cecil, I gotta hand it to the man.
No, the guy was.
I think it is
legend.
Probably. There is of course the Franco Zeffirelli version, the Jesus of Nazareth, which is a 6-hour TV miniseries.
I know. I think I saw part of that as a kid.
It is wonderful. Robert Powell plays Christ, and he's dynamite. But I'll tell you, I love this film. It moved me. I cried. I cried in this film. I really did. I was actually sobbing a few times. And I'm not a religious guy. I'm not a religious person. Do I believe in Christ? I believe that there was somebody, they say literally a few years, possibly even 1,000 years before Christ, there was actually a Hindu, there was a Buddha-like man who actually did these miracles, and that a lot of the sayings of Christ were based on his.
Well, a lot of the religions have the same kind of a formula for their story.
For their God, correct?
Yeah, if you look at ancient, religions that have been around for a long time before Christianity, there's a lot of similar things in there.
Yeah, there's a supreme being who has come down from the heavens or whatever to speak
Immaculate
to the
conception
people.
in many ways, healing powers, miracles, all that kind of thing.
Very true.
But it's I'll tell you one thing. This movie sparked my desire to watch Passion of the Christ again. To the point that I said, you know what? I think I bought that on Blu-ray. I'm not sure. So I went into the other room. I'm like, oh, good, I did. I'm probably going to watch that this week.
Yeah, I haven't.
I haven't seen it since the theater, believe it or not.
Oh, really?
I've really only seen Passion of the Christ once. But it left its mark. I remember it vividly.
I saw it in the theater. I saw it when it came out on Blu-ray, and then I saw it again.
I'm going to watch it
maybe
soon.
5 years ago.
Yeah,
I watched it again. I think it dwells a little bit too long on some of the torture scenes there. When
he really hammers that point home, no pun intended.
Yeah. He does get Jim Caviezel actually when they were hitting him with this spiked ball. It was a whip with a spiked ball.
Yeah.
He actually did get hit twice.
Ooh.
Yeah, they actually did it.
He was excellent.
He was superb.
And it's a shame that he thinks that film hurt his career because of the Mel Gibson backlash. That everything happened after that film,
well,
But he worked steadily. But I thought it was excellent.
He went on to be in a great television show called Person of Interest.
Is that still on or no?
No, it's long gone. But he was great in that show.
Yeah, he's good. I saw a little bit of that.
Show. Yeah. It was really a great little.
That's a really good scene.
I tell you, the Christ shot. I thought his body was perfect.
Yeah, because Christ wasn't he was a lanky guy. He wasn't.
Well, how do we know?
Well, I guess you're right.
No clue.
Actually, he probably didn't even look white. Christ really.
They say he was a brown man.
Browner, Arab looking,
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're a fan of religious films, you are a student of cinema.
Even if you are not, if you are not a fan of film, it is just a beautiful little piece of work.
Any student of film should see it.
It's 2.5 hours, and it flew by for me.
I'm glad I saw it. Would I watch it again? I can't say I would.
I will watch it again.
But I think everybody should see it. I'm glad I saw it.
I'm really going to watch the 2-hour version now.
Check it out.
Within the next few months, I'm going to try and get to it.
Okay.
But I tell you, the crucifixion scene is so incredible.
It's great.
The winds and the
the sky goes dark.
Sound effects.
Yeah, it was really well done.
It was just it was mind blowing. I thought I really did. And I love that little evil, that little dwarfy guy with the long hair, and he worked for the king more or less.
Yeah.
He was there to put Christ away, and
then he's cowering.
The whole sky is just falling down. You killed my son. I'm gonna get you. God is up there. You feel him in the sea. And suddenly they all go, "Oh my God, he was the Son of God."
Which I love that part too.
I do too. It's that
I always love when the villains or naysayers
they find out the truth and they go, "Oh my God!"
It's like in every Steven Seagal movie when there's always that one scene. Not to say that he's anywhere near God, but when the villains always find out how good he is when they get his file. He was a SEAL. Oh my God, he was this or that.
Wow.
I know that's a really bad comparison.
Steven Seagal into our.
But I just love when people
on King of Kings.
They get their mind blown. I love that. But anyway,
it reminds me very much of the during King Kong the film. They look down. There's a premiere happening.
Oh yeah.
And actually, that premiere was for a Charlie Chaplin film, but it was used in the film.
That's cool.
It was supposed to be. That King Kong was the 8th wonder of the world.
Oh, okay.
And he's looking down at his own premiere, but they actually used the
Charlie Chaplin.
The Charlie Chaplin film, the little
Dictator, right?
No, not
what
the Little
Hitler?
Dictator.
Oh.
No, that was 1938.
Of course, you're right, because Hitler was.
Yeah. No, it was called the most famous Chaplin film, City Lights. It wasn't City Lights. It was The Little Tramp.
Okay.
I believe it was, but. It's just a lot of images, just very breathtakingly
very
done.
Well done.
The Christ is the key. Did he overdo it? I don't think so.
No, I thought it was all the right notes.
You know, silent films always have one major flaw, and that is that everybody overacts. You know, it's like Broadway acting. When you act on stage, you have to act louder.
We have to project to the back row.
Project emotion. You have to make things like when you are sad, you have to be sad big. You have to be happy big. You have to be...
I know.
Your emotions have to cover an entire audience. And because silent films was such a new medium... You know,
Film
it started in 1890s.
It was all theatrical actors.
Very much so. But
Yeah.
all theatrical actors, of course, as you say, that's absolutely the truth.
true.
That's where they came from.
Exactly.
They came from the vaudeville world and so forth. But this guy was, I think he died at the age of 70-something or whatever. But, oh boy. There he is. This is the guy I was talking about. Yeah, he was an evil little, horrible guy. But there's just a brilliance to this film. Just a great appreciation of the Christ image that we all kind of cling to some extent. We all have our own version of what Christ is and what Christ was, and whether he means anything to you or he doesn't, it doesn't really matter. It's just a great vision by a great director.
I agree.
At his peak, at his prime. D.W. Griffith, of course, you know, had done Birth of a Nation, but boy, look at that imagery. I mean, this looks right out of Vogue magazine, 1968 here.
The composition is just spectacular.
It's mind-blowing.
Look at the sets. I mean, look at all that. It's just great.
It's incredible.
It
Well, he
is.
also did
Very
Cleopatra. He did
that. That was after this, right?
I believe it was.
Yeah.
But I think that was, it wasn't Greta Garbo, I'm not quite sure who, or was it Marlene Dietrich, I'm not sure. But regardless, I love the film.
Yeah, if you want to see it, you can only find it on disc. It's not streaming anywhere, so maybe get it for your library. You can buy it on Amazon.
It's really a shame.
If you
It
want.
should be standard procedure, but you know, nobody wants to watch silent films anymore, so it's a...
But you got to figure at least something as prominent as this would be available, you'd think, you know?
You would
But
think so, that we should be able to see it. I think Netflix might do that.
That's why it's such a shame that streaming site Filmstruck is no more, because that site was all about strictly just showing you Criterion films on a streaming platform. And I guess they didn't have enough subscribers to keep it up.
They're open again. They're back.
Really? Because I looked recently, wasn't it? It's coming back?
Brand new. It's
good.
It's here. It just started, I think, 3 days ago.
Oh, good. Because I think it's an important
it's a new, I think it's $9.95 a month.
It's great.
Whatever.
And then if it's going to have all the Criterion collection, then this should be on there.
It should be on there.
Well, maybe soon.
Yeah.
I'll have to look it up, because that's great. I love that whole concept of that site.
Yeah.
Great.
I'd love to see it myself.
So, all right, well, that's
how they did this. How did they...
Oh, it's amazing.
It is amazing.
It's very well done.
It's incredible.
Yeah. Movie magic.
Truly. Yeah. Absolutely. Look at that shot right there.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
like... so good. Then he got Simon coming in to help him.
I know.
Great.
I know. That was wonderful.
I love it. All right, well... Great film.
I guess that's our show.
We have a couple things coming out this week. We can highlight.
Recap, possibly.
Yeah, well, recap. We pretty much thought everything was just okay.
Mediocre.
And Hotel Mumbai was amazing.
Mumbai was spectacular.
Yeah.
It is playing at your local theater.
It's out there. It's a wide
playing at all
release.
local theaters. It's playing at the bigger...
And it's been out about 3 weeks now, so it's probably
it's
less.
Not playing at the Garden State, which
Not
is only a
anymore.
16-plex, but at the 21 plexes, you'll still see it.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth pursuing. I definitely recommend you seeing it on a big screen.
It is a big screen
It's a big screen film. It's just and it's just the way to be all encompassed within that.
Yeah.
You feel like you're trapped in that hotel.
Yeah, you are.
With these people, and it was pretty outrageous.
It's intense.
I have to say. It really was.
So coming out this week, you'll probably go see this, The Curse of La Llorona. It's in the Conjuring universe. Another witch, weird, creepy
she wants
character.
My children, I'll be happy to give them to her.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's coming out this week with what's her name, Linda Carlini.
Yeah, she's in it. I saw her on Colbert last night.
Penguins, IMAX. I'm not gonna go see that.
No, she was on Jimmy Kimmel last night, and she, of course, was from Green Book. She's the wife.
Breakthrough is coming out.
It doesn't look like
No,
much.
it's a true story about a kid trapped under the ice.
And it's a religious.
film.
You know.
I don't know. I'm not really interested.
Don't want to see it.
I'm not going to see it. And then this looks interesting, a documentary about Satan worship. Hail Satan.
Okay.
Or no, Hail Satan? Question mark. Interesting.
Might be a good double feature with King of Kings, actually. The devil's work is never done.
And then another big Indian film coming out called Kalank. I don't know anything about it, but I'll probably go see it.
You'll probably go see it.
I'll probably go see it because I'm into the Indian movies these days.
I know you are.
And then we have Under the Silver Lake is opening in some theaters. We reviewed this film.
We did.
Several episodes ago.
Loved it.
But I want to highlight it again because it's a cool little noir
3.5
film.
star film with Andrew Garfield. That's just a real David Lynchian pursuit of Alice down the Looking Glass. It's a wonderful.
And it
film.
also is streaming on some platforms, Amazon most notably.
Great.
Definitely seek out Under the Silver Lake. If it's playing in your little theater,
So bizarre.
go check it out in the theater.
So bizarre.
Because I had to watch it online. I wouldn't
It's a
mind it
kick.
seeing in the theater.
No,
yeah.
I'd like to see it
It's a cool
again.
little film.
I'm going to watch it again.
It's a little gem.
Yeah.
And that's our show, folks.
That's our show.
We'll see you next week with more reviews.
Now listen, I want to say one thing to people. People
please
that are
do.
out there looking for film banter, we're very hard to find now. If you just do a search for film space banter, you're going to find 20 different groups. How do we distinguish ourselves?
Well, there's no other film banter out there, but there's other...
But everybody's using the hashtag of film banter.
Are they? I didn't
Oh my
see that.
God! I kid you not. Now you go, you look for film banter. There's 20 other.
Really? I didn't even
things.
notice that.
Go take a search on
I'll
YouTube
take a look later,
right
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Look it up.
Film banter.
Very
huh?
upsetting.
So they're using it as a tag.
They're using it as a tag.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're stealing our moniker to use as their search tag. And because I guess they have more followers than us, listen, you 2 or 3 people out there, I know you love us, but come on, damn it.
Well,
We really
honestly, at the end of the day, though, it might not hurt us 100%.
There's
you know?
Louie over there. He's a subscriber, damn it.
Yeah, he is.
All the other, look at, there's our audience, sound asleep.
Yeah.
But Louie's wide awake.
He's wide awake. He's always awake.
Yeah.
But that's our show, folks. We'll see you next week with more hijinks.
Yes, indeed.
Bye.
All right. Good day.
Good night.
Good afternoon, folks. Good evening. Louie, where are you?
Road. Yeah, where we going now? Yeah, Mr. Superman.